Fuck the Dodgers.
Fuck that. He's got a money printing machine in the locker room.
It's absolutely sickening them not spending money.
Sickening. It is a very good question, and we're going to shift out of the NFL for a little bit, go to another sport in the baseball realm. As always, Derek, going to hand it off to you first and foremost for you to answer the question in an intelligent, not, and methodical, not way. So just kind of get that little hamster wheel rolling, and I'm going to give you the question here. In baseball, given the offseason and how it's gone, are the Dodgers bad for baseball, or is it just that small market owners aren't spending? What's the problem? Is it the Dodgers spending too much, or is it smaller teams and even middle market teams at this point not spending at all?
Wow, that's a tough question. That's a very tough question. It's a very good one too. That's probably by far one of my favorite ones. But first of all, I want to say one thing: fuck the Dodgers. But the the people I have to blame for this is not the Dodgers. I would have to blame the middle market teams, purely because I feel like they're not putting in as much effort as they should for these big players. Like for example, the Pittsburgh Pirates. That team systematically gives away their best players. For example, they gave away Garrett Cole and etc. And just recently, they signed Brian Reynolds to a team high, I don't even know, of $182 million or 100 and something million dollars. I don't remember exactly how much it was. But it just shows how if you're a small team like the Pirates, like the Athletics, or like all these other small market teams, by you not putting out the money to make your team better, it's gonna not make other players stay on the team. Like for example, going back with the Pirates, is that they had a chance to sign Garrett Cole, and they didn't. It said let him go, and now he is on the Yankees. Which don't get me wrong, I'm very happy about, but it's overall you just need if these small market teams put actual money that they have, because it's not like they don't have the money. If they put the money in, they could get the players and build their team off of. But overall, they're just afraid of spending money, which makes no fucking sense.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm going to start off by saying I actually do agree with you. I think it's on small and middle market teams to spend more money. The MLB has been continuously climbing in revenue year in and year out. Their views are up, their revenue is up, and this is a pull to all owners, right? So owners on every single Major League Baseball team are making money. So there is absolutely no reason that some of these small market teams, like the Pittsburgh Pirates, should not be spending money, right? Or the Los Angeles Angels, right? Or the Baltimore Orioles, right? So these teams, they need to cut out the checkbook. It's as simple as that, right? I will say on the off flip side of that, the Dodgers payroll is pretty crazy, right? For the first time in 2025, their luxury tax payroll is going to exceed $375 million dollars, and that is $70 million dollars more than the next closest team, which will be the Philadelphia Phillies as of this moment, right? They've made some insane offseason signings. Blake Snell, 182 million. Tanner Scott, 72 million. Teoscar Hernandez, 66. Blake Trine, 22. Tommy Edmonds, 74 million. And that's not to mention Roki Sasaki or even Michael Conforto, for the love of God, right? I think it solely depends on the owner. This is a team who just won the World Series. A lot of times when you win a World Series, right, you get complacent. You think the team you have can win it again and again. The Dodgers, their owner, fuck that. He's got a money printing machine in the locker room that Shohei Ohtani's interpreter from jail is running right now.
Whoa, look at that. It's a money machine.
And you think he gives a shit? He's going out there and improving an already World Series championship team. I don't want to hear it that these small market teams can't spend money, right? You're telling me a fucking You're telling me that a Pittsburgh Pirates team can't spend $66 million on Teoscar Hernandez when they just shoveled out their biggest contract in their history to Brian Reynolds for less than 150 million total? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? I do give props to at least the Oakland A's a little bit. They spent money this offseason. They're still going to suck ass, but they spent money.
They're trying. They're trying to be better.
They're working towards better things, moving to Las Vegas, all that shit, right? They at least spent some money. Maybe not on the right guys. Would I have given Severino that kind of money? No. But good for him. He went out there, got his bag. Good for the Oakland A's spending some money. That's what you should do to improve your baseball team because baseball, as compared to a lot of other sports, you can have it's a team game. It is truly one of those sports where you need a full team in order to be good in baseball, and it's probably one of the most competitive sports, maybe next to hockey. You only have to make a couple of moves here and there to really improve your team. Like, for example, and I'm going to give you a perfect example on this one, right? The 2024 Detroit Tigers. Take a guess, Derek, at what their yearly payroll was. You know what? You're not even going to get it. Bottom 5 in the league, less than less than 100 million. Less than 100 million. And it was 96 million. Bottom 5 in the league, and they made it to the playoffs. You don't you don't need to spend money to make it to the playoffs. You just need to spend money in the right places and have talented players. And it especially goes for some of these teams where they have to retain talent. You mentioned it. Perfect example. Look at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Garrett Cole, Tyler Glasnow. I mean, these are prime time guys that you're just letting go because you're too cheap to spend money.
It's absolutely sickening them not spending money.
It's sickening. You know what? If you don't want to spend money and you just want to rake it in as an owner, how about you trade the team? How about you sell the team? You're still going to make a pretty penny, and you can go die somewhere in a ditch. I feel bad for Pirates. I feel bad for Pirates fans because you know what's the inevitable is next, right? In 2-3 years, they're not going to want to sign Paul Skeens, and he's going to get traded.
Please, God, go to the Yankees. Please, God, go to the Yankees.
And if I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, I am quite literally taking a torch and burning down the stadium.
That's just going to be a crater. If they don't sign Paul Skeens, that's just going to be a crater.
It's disgraceful. Another perfect example, not to cut you off, the Baltimore Orioles, right? Won the division this year, back-to-back playoff years where you have a ton of young talent. What did you do this offseason? Who did you sign? You signed a 40-year-old Japanese pitcher. You lost Anthony Santander. You lost Corbin Burns. You lost pretty much everybody who was a free agent. I'm sure Baltimore fans are feeling pretty damn good right now. I think the problem is those lower tier teams. That's my thing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dean, with like the Baltimore Orioles, them not capitalizing on the opportunities they had. But like, it's just so stupid how these small market teams, like, they don't want to improve their teams. It's like they're not get. I understand that you don't want to spend all the money and bury your team in cap and shit, but that's how you have to be sometimes. Like the Seattle Mariners, for example, they're a pretty good team. They just need little pieces, but you need to buy these big players like the Rockies, like the Sotos, or like all these big market players to make your team better. Otherwise, it's not gonna help you. Like even if fucking the Texas Rangers, if they got Roki, they would be a completely different team. But instead, they sat there and they just did nothing. It's annoying to see teams not put in full effort on making their team better.
Yeah, look, money doesn't always correlate wins. It's been proven, especially this past year, bottom tier teams in terms of payroll making the playoffs, Milwaukee, Baltimore, Cleveland, Detroit. And then on the flip side of things, top 10 teams in payroll not making the playoffs. And the Atlanta Braves, the Chicago Cubs, the Texas Rangers, the Toronto Blue Jays, the San Francisco Giants. Money doesn't always correlate to wins. But If you spend money in the right places, you're going to bring in more fans. You're going to make that revenue back very quickly. The one caveat I have to this question, and by the way, I found the name Hector in Queens. Thank you, Hector. You're you're a good man. We appreciate you giving us a baseball question because football can always get a little, repetitive. The one caveat I want to see in the CBA in the next 2 years, when it is up, I do want to see the MLB take away deferrals. I don't mind a team spending money. I really don't. If the Dodgers want to go out there and spend 500 million, if their owner's willing to do that, good for him. Go do your thing, guy. I don't even give a shit. It's the deferrals that are an issue, right? Where a team has the opportunity a 10-year, $700 million contract and push it off to the next 20 years. That's where my biggest issue is. And that's where I think that's where I think the discrepancy is going to be in the CBA in the next 2-3 years. But yes, great question, Hector. Hector, you are the man. Sorry I couldn't